Here's a quick example of how to use the new Adobe Premiere transcripts and captions. Drop in a new video file to start a new sequence, and after you do so, you'll be able to transcribe sequence. So once you do this, it will automatically go in and try to decipher what is being said. If you have multiple microphones or assigned dialogue, you can select that. Make any corrections that you need to. I know I say shorts here, so that's the only correction I'm going to make in this clip. And then after you're done with that, you can go into the create captions, and I just leave it as default and I create it from the sequence transcript. That way all of the work that you've already done will be used. You can go ahead and decide about duration of captions or double lines, single lines. You can just play around with that. You now have captions for your video, and it will show you down below in that caption line how long each of those sequences are going to be, for how long the words will be on the screen. So you'll see that it already has a generic placement and color. So you're going to be able to go in and go into the essential graphics panel, and then you'll be able to customize with anything from the color, the outline, the shadow. I'm going to run through some of these options so you can see what it looks like. And then that is all just going to be playing around to however you want your videos to look. Now, one thing is, I do want to stress, you can in each section make them look different, but I'm going to show you here what you can do once you make a selection to have it apply to all captions. So I'm going to go in and choose the Montserrat, and here you're going to be able to use the slider to embiggen your text size, and then the placement of it in the zone you can select, and then if you don't like it, you can move it around and still drag it on screen. So just keep that in mind. That zone is not permanent. You can totally move it. Now with fill, that is going to be the color of the text that is on screen. And of course you can use the eyedropper to color select, or you can go into the color window by selecting the little brick of colors there. So the stroke itself is going to be basically that outline, and you can decide if you want it on the inside, outside, kind of where you want it, and then how thick you want it to be. And then background is really going to look more like a color block behind your text. You might want to do that depending on what's on screen, or if you have text in varying contrast colors that makes it really hard to see. Totally up to you. This is all personal preference here. Then of course there's going to be the ability to add a shadow. So all of this should be pretty familiar, and it's not really the point of this tutorial. Just use it as you see fit. Now, after you're done with all of this, say that you have this beautiful text, but then you click on any other section of your transcript and your captions, and you see it went back to the original of what was applied when you first got in. So to apply the changes that you've made, go and create a text style, name it whatever you want. I just named it red. And then once you hit OK, it will apply that text style to all of the blocks of text. Now, that being said, if you wanted to change the color just for a specific section, you can do that. So in this one, you're holding it, the red against the orange, maybe it doesn't look that great. I'm just going to change this text to black for more contrast so you can read it easier. And that will only apply to this section. You can see if I hover over any of the other sections, it is still that red color. So keep that in mind. You can then go in, you can export an SRT file if you plan to upload this to, let's say, YouTube, and you want to also add closed captions on. You then can export your video, and this will export it with the burned in captions. Let me show you what that looks like. It's also going to be apparent when you go through the video file. Let me move the little playback here and mute this. It should have red text and then go to black text and then back to red text. So again, whatever changes you make in that section, you can either apply it just to that section or apply a text style across all. You can also name that text style, and then if you wanted to go every other, you could just apply a text style to a specific section as well. I hope this helps. If it did, give this video a thumbs up and follow along for more tips.